Okay, good morning. We're here with Matthias Zöll from the German National Triathlon Federation. Matthias is the Assistant High Performance Director with the Federation. He was over here last year and he's come back here to the best centre in Colonia San Jordi, Mallorca with some of his top German triathletes. We've got the 10 of their best, which we'll be videoing again this year. And first question for Matthias. You're obviously involved in triathlon all the time for the last quite a few years now, and even though you look young, you're actually 30 years old, so you've got some experience behind you. What's the biggest change you've seen in the last 10 years in triathlon?
I think the biggest change is, especially in this Olympic distance triathlon, the drafting, the allowance of drafting. Before it was non-drafting. It was quite similar to the Ironman races. The bike was much more important years before, but now it's getting important again because the courses are more, they are harder, more hills. But yeah, running is more and more important. That's, I think, the biggest change in the last years. But also the development around, especially the science which came to the sport is the biggest change.
It seems like you bring your German teams out here. It seems a lot more professional setup than what we've seen in the past from triathlon groups. Obviously we deal with swimming groups a lot more than triathlon groups. We've seen a lot more triathletes here. German Federation seems to be very professional in how they handle things. How do you see the future of the training in triathlon?
I think, as I said, there are many changes. We've got a sport with 3 different disciplines. You've got swimming, biking and running, and sometimes they are not only, you have to put it together in the right direction. And I think these things will change every time. You have so many variations in the sport, which point you can put your finger on. I think it won't be a one straight way. You have to have a look for everyone single person, and that's what we're trying to do more and more. We like to work with the individual and to make him better in his strengths, but it's also in his weakness.
Yeah. So you say that, I mean, 3 sports. How does that affect your planning for the season and what you do? You've got kids in here that, some are good swimmers, some aren't great swimmers, some are great on a bike, some aren't so good on a bike, some are great runners, some aren't great runners. How does that affect your planning for the season with 3 different sports and obviously giving a standard there on each individual sport with a group like you've got here? How does that affect your planning?
At the moment we are just in the endurance period. We're just doing some endurance work where everybody can train nearly the same. We've got the younger ones which are doing a little bit less than the others. But yeah, you've got not that many differences in the training at this period. But if you're moving on, yeah, you have to, as I said before, you have to have a look for the individual strengths and weaknesses, and you have to individualize plannings a little bit for each one.
So what? In terms of the high performance in German Triathlon Federation, what makes, in your mind, a good triathlete? What kind of things are you looking for in young triathletes that you think are gonna produce the champions, of the future?
That's always a really good question we ask ourselves all the time of talent seeking. What is the right attitude of an athlete? What is the right? Which are the right things, but as I said, you've got 3 different disciplines in one sport. You cannot say this one is really good. I think we are really looking for the character on the one hand. We are looking on what stage in his development and his physically development he's when we are seeing him for the first time, maybe with 16 years. I think if you put all these things together, if he's got really ambitious from his character, and if he's not that far, not retarded, but not that far in his development, you can say, okay, this one maybe could get a really good one. But there are so many influences in the life of a young athlete. You can't really plan. You have to have a look, and you have to decide by your feeling a little bit. That's also experience.
Yeah. So what? Looking at the guys you've got out here, you had the full elite team here last year. You've got some of the youngsters here, the stars of the future here. What is the German Federation doing right in terms of triathlon? You've got some very, very good top male triathletes. You've got two guys here that were Gregor and Franz, I think they are, the under 23 world champions. So something's going right in German triathlon. What is it?
You have to do it a little bit more specific. We are doing something right in the male, in the male part of our triathlon. I think it's after you started it, it's running train. I think we had the first really big success with Daniel Unger in 2007. He's a world champion. I think he did something right, and afterwards people were looking for him. I think it was a process which not really was automatically, but I think it was running afterwards. People were looking to each other.
Success breeds success, kind of thing.
Yeah, something like this. They're measuring against each other.
Yeah.
So, and the problem is with girls at the moment we are trying hard, but I think some years they are not that strong.
Yeah.
And they don't have someone to measure up in the team.